Welcome to Plain Talk, a podcast dedicated to bringing useful marketing, advertising, and public relations tips and information to small and micro businesses, nonprofits, and beyond. Hosted by the team at In Plain Sight Marketing. We're excited you're here.
Hey, I'm Olivia, and this is Jordan, and we are doing Plain Talk, and today we're going to talk about Canva. So, Jordan, you've been using Canva a lot while you've been working for In Plain Sight Marketing.
Yeah. So I've only been using Canva since I started working here, which is almost a year. So after a year of using it, it's actually been really easy to learn.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about Canva, like what it is, what you use it for? I know it's one of our main tools, but can you kind of give me a brief description about it?
Yeah, Canva is an online tool, so it can be free, but also you can pay for a premium subscription so that you have access to a little bit more things and tools. But it makes graphic design really simple and really easy, especially if you have not had any graphic design experience before. It has
Gotcha.
stock photos, shapes, images, templates, like anything that you can think of that you would need, like if you're designing social media, posters, cover pages, like any print or digital graphic design needs. I think that Canva is a tool that you could use for all of those. So I mainly use it for social media posts for our clients, but I've also used it for like banners, Facebook event covers, posters. But yeah, we mostly use it for social media posts because they have templates for each platform. So we always go with the Instagram post. So it has the size and the template right there for you to use.
That's cool. Do you ever use the resize tool?
I actually have it. It's kind of intimidating. Usually I'll exit out and I'll just delete the design and I'll make a new one with the correct dimensions, but I haven't really touched that tool a lot.
Okay, I've done it a few times and it works pretty well for me. It kind of moves stuff a little bit when it's resizing it, but I feel for like if I'm doing a Facebook post, the dimensions are a little bit off. So you do have to fix it a tiny bit, but I feel for resizing, that's such a useful tool to have, especially if you have to create a post for multiple different platforms and stuff like that. I've used it to resize banners because I know for Instagram or no, sorry, Facebook banners, and then you have LinkedIn banners, the sizings are all off. So when I was creating banners, I had to keep doing it. So that was super helpful. So you do a lot of Canva posts social wise for our clients. Tell me a little bit about how you create a post. Where's your first step? Do you pick your template and then how you go from there in creating a post?
Yeah, so I would say that I firstly will I'll create a folder just for that month for that client, just so that everything for, let's say, June social is all in one place. I know exactly where each post is, and that's makes it super cool. So then everybody else knows where each post is too, if I didn't download one and move it to our social folder. But yeah, I'll normally start with a template or a few templates, looking around and taking things from each, because they're so easy to get a base going and get ideas going, because then you can be oh, I really like this, and now I really like this off of this one, so let's put both of them and then combine them and see what we can do. So I really like templates just to get the creative process going, because it's so easy to look at the blank square and be I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But once you search for our hospital client, I'll look up medical, and then there's all these really nice professional looking templates, and I'm oh, okay, this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
That's awesome. I know when I'm picking out templates, I'll start with the blank canvas, and then I'll go hit the template tab, and I'll just search whatever the theme is, and then I'll pick one, and I'll see another one I like the design's really cool on that one. So I'll add a new page, and I'll have like 5 different pages going with 5 different templates, and then I pick and choose from each one.
Yeah, no, that's so smart. It
Um,
makes it so much easier to create something really cool out of nothing, which I really like about Canva.
yeah, it's super helpful. So you have like your base template going. How do you make it like get a look and feel for your client, you know?
Yeah, so it's my favorite tool in Canva for sure because we have so many clients, so many brands, colors, logos, like all of that fun stuff. So the brand kits in Templa in Canva are amazing because you go to on the homepage, you can just go to the brand kits and you upload your client's name, and then you can put any logos that they use, all of their brand colors, and hex codes, so it easily transfers like to Adobe program if you would need to. And then it makes a nice little color
That's
palette for
nice.
you. And then you can upload if they have like different fonts, like if they have like a main font and a subhead font,
Mhm.
you can upload those too. So then when you're in your Canva design, if you click on your brand kit for all of on the control panel for every element, it will have everything there for you. So you go to logos, your client's logo is there, so you can easily pop it in. You go to colors, their template is they're nice and pretty for you and a nice little bar, so you can just always be consistent with your colors, which is really important in branding. So I love using that
Yeah.
because everything's just there for you. You do it once and then you don't have to worry about it again. And then for every design that you do for that client, you're consistent and you have everything there that you need.
Yeah, so it makes it like super easy. I know the brand kits are very helpful, and I always have to go on them. Um, and then just kind of like you can upload photos easily that the client wants and stuff like that.
Yeah, the photo
And they have
folders
like the
are
little,
really, really helpful.
yeah, yeah, because I know like sometimes I'll upload them and I'll need them at a later time, and I have to scroll through all the uploaded photos. So now I've kind of gone in the rhythm of putting them in each client's folder
Yes. So
just to make it easier to find them.
things get lost in the uploads for sure because
Yeah,
it's so easy to drag it over and just like it
yeah,
starts uploading automatically to the general uploads. But yeah, having a folder for each of our
yeah,
clients to have all the photos that we've ever uploaded for them in one place, it does make it so much easier when like you're looking for past photos because I've done that before too, where you're like scrolling,
I
scrolling.
know. And yeah, especially with like 5 people too, because they're all uploading like 30 photos a day. So it's like lost in the at the bottom and you just have to keep looking for it. But yeah, so once you get your template going, you have your brand kit. Um, I don't know, where do you go from there? Just like adding all the stuff for the client?
Yeah. I would say after you kind of have an idea of what you're going to do, everything is just like really simple from there. Because, yeah, pulling photos, I'll always
Mhm.
kind of go into our clients' upload photos and see, okay, like, is there anything in here that I can use for this? Like, should I go to our archives and maybe upload a new photo for this? And then the stock photos are
Mhm.
super, super helpful because I've never really had a problem looking for a photo in the stock photos. I feel like after a few searches of kind of what I'm looking for, something always seems to pop up that I'm like, yes, that's perfect. I want to use that. Like it's copyright
Yeah.
free. Like I don't have to worry about anything. So I'm actually really impressed with their stock
So
photo
nice.
selection because I feel like sometimes I do want to go to other
I
sites to get some, but usually Canva does the job, which is really cool.
I've noticed like deposit photos, they have a lot of stock photos as well. But I've noticed like all the ones they have are in Canva. You just have to scroll more.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
But yeah, yeah. Also, like I don't know if you deal with like making videos on Canva, but their stock videos are amazing as well. Like they have ones of Lake Tahoe, and they even had one like a bunch of Carson City, which like I wouldn't expect them to have one of the Carson City Capitol. So that worked out perfect when I was creating one for Casa in Carson City. So I feel like they definitely give you a great
Yeah, they
variety.
do. I was surprised
Um,
with the Carson City and Carson Valley photos too, because it's our capital, but
yeah.
it's such a small area of Nevada. So I wasn't expecting to get a lot of results, but
Mhm.
I looked those up too because all of our clients are here. But they actually have so many
Yeah.
beautiful like landscape photos. Like it's so easy to find photos, which I was really impressed by because Lake Tahoe, there's a million of them. It's like one of the most biggest tourist attractions that we have. So yeah, compared to Carson City and Carson Valley, I'm really impressed with their selection.
They also have like the cutout photos. Do you ever use those ones?
Sometimes I feel like I don't know how to search for them, but if it pops up, I'll get really excited because I'm like, oh, that's really nice to use.
I know when I was creating one for one of our pet themed ones, like I'll search jog, and there's like a little drop down where you can put in filters, and you just put in cutouts only, and it gives you a bunch of just like cutouts, and they don't have backgrounds. So those are really cool to use as
Oh, that's
well.
really cool.
Um, yeah, that was a fun little thing I found out. There's just so many like little hidden like tip or not tips, but like little hidden tricks that you can use. I don't know, do you use any of the other tools on Canva?
Yeah, I know in the beginning I was kind of intimidated with poking around at all those little tools because I didn't know what they would do. So I was just kind of like, should I click this? Should I not click this? But after you get playing with it and figuring out what things do, it's so easy. There was one design that I was making an infographic for, and it was a list, and I was trying to align everything all nice and pretty because I am really detailed with my spacing. And I just, for some reason, it was
Yeah,
not
same.
looking right to me at all. Like the rows were not lining up, and I was like, this needs to look like precise. And so I went to the positions tool, and I was just kind of looking around in there and was like, okay, like they're aligned center, so I know they're center, but I was like, but the spacing's really weird. So I saw the tidy up tool and I was like, what is this? So I clicked it and everything aligned perfectly at like perfect spacing between each character. And I was just like, this is exactly what I need. I've been looking for this for so long. And it just made me so excited because like little things like that will help you out so much when it comes to like
Yeah,
the
just
bigger
make
picture and designing
yeah,
things. So the tidy up tool was like revolutionary for me.
especially when you're going for like quality, you want perfect look going for your clients, you
Yeah.
know? So that's super nice to you. That's awesome. Um, and then I don't know, I guess like you don't go too much on like the video side, but like when Canva first started, like creating videos was not easy. Like it was not meant for videos, but they just keep updating Canva to be better and better is what I've noticed. So they've added tools like the tidy up one and background remover, which is a really cool one. Do you ever use the background one?
Yeah, it took me a little bit to find that one, and I wish I had found it earlier because it's almost better than
Yeah.
Photoshop. Like, instead of going into Photoshop and using your mouse and changing the size of your erase tool and slowly going around and trying to erase the background, in Canva, it like takes a second to load, but it will remove basically everything to perfect margins. Like I've never had a image where you could still see some of the background. So yeah, that's a really cool tool to use,
Yeah.
especially because it does make it super user friendly and it makes it so much more simple than someone saying, oh, like I have to spend an hour in Photoshop doing this, or someone who's never used Photoshop before and they're kind of like, I have no idea how to do this.
Yeah, I feel like all those like tools, like even like creating videos, they make it so user friendly versus like other like video creation tools and like Photoshop. I know you have a lot more experience in Photoshop than I do. What comparing Canva and Photoshop, like how do you feel about the two?
Yeah, so my minor from the University of Nevada, Reno was in graphic design, which I really appreciated it because it was really nice to learn the Adobe programs because they're hard, they're big, they're expensive, and they're intimidating. So I guess having the professional guidance is what really helped me learn it, and I was really grateful for that experience. But since it was design
Mm-hmm.
classes with Adobe, that was the only tool that we could use. Everything had to be made from scratch in Adobe programs by us. We still had to follow stock image, copyright, like everything like we were designing for a company. And I loved my minor.
Mm-hmm.
I love the creativity of it, but it was really hard for me sometimes. I just felt like I got the basics down and I knew how to do things and I was still like advancing my knowledge, but I didn't really progress as much as I thought I would. And for a long time, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like I'm not doing as well as my classmates. But I think it really is because how hard those programs are to master. Like you can make amazing, beautiful things in them, but it probably takes years and years of
Mm-hmm.
experience. And I only took 6 classes, I think, in my minor. So it was like when you
Okay.
think about 3 years, you think that's a long time, but 3 years is only 6 semesters. So it's
Yeah.
hard to learn. And yeah, Canva just makes stuff like that so much more easier. It's so much more user friendly and it's cost effective too. Like if you don't have the means to pay for Adobe programs, Canva is so much better. And if you don't have like vast design experience, Canva is a really nice way to get your feet wet, look at it, and you can still create really amazing things that kind of like you can compare with Adobe designs because it's I guess just along the same lines of design is design. It doesn't matter really how you do it as long as you're
Uh-huh.
satisfied and your client is satisfied with the end result.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree. I mean, I've tried Photoshop here and there, and I've tried like the little tutorials here and there. And like I definitely get like the hang of it, but Canva 100%, like the background remover tool is so quick and easy. And it saves you so much time. And I mean, you do have to kind of learn how to use Canva, but once you get the hang of it, you do realize like, wow, this is so much easier.
Yeah, yeah. When I first
And I
started,
know
it was definitely like I got the
yeah,
hang of it super quickly, and I wouldn't attribute any past design experience to how easy Canva is to use. You can go in 100% with no experience, and once you're into it and you know what you like it's so easy to create things.
and it's like fun too. I don't know. It's been fun using it for me.
Yeah, no, I think it's really fun.
um,
It's really for me,
yeah,
it eliminated the stress, if that makes sense. Like I was creating things from scratch when in my minor, and I was like,
yeah.
none of this is like living up to what I want it to look like. But in Canva, you see
Mhm.
all these elements and it's so easy to create something that I love because I'm like, oh, I love this aspect. I love this aspect. Like this element is super pretty. Like I love this photo. Let's put it all together. And like I'm super satisfied with the end result. Whereas I was definitely struggling like to get what I wanted out of my mind onto my paper, onto my computer screen. But with Canva, it's so nice because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, like I love all of this. Let's put it together. And then at the end, I'm super satisfied with the product.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like the templates are all amazing. I've tried like Adobe templates and Canva just offers so much more, I feel like. But like like when you have a blank slate, it's just so hard to come up with like the look and feel of what you want to go with. So the templates are amazing. I know one thing that super important when creating like a design is you kind of want it to seem like it's not from Canva, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So I know you feel me on this one when you'll go on like Instagram, you can kind of tell if someone creates a post like it's from Canva. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, now that I've been in the tool, I have kind of noticed that there's a few pages that I follow, and even on my explore page, I was scrolling and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this design's so pretty. And it was an infographic for, I think, a small business because I had clicked on it. But it was a template that I had
Uh-huh.
used like the day before. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a kind of a template. And it was like the
Yeah.
exact thing that I had seen in Canva. And then, yeah, a few pages I have noticed where like maybe they've changed the color or put their logo in the corner, but I have looked at it and gone, that's a Canva template, but also they didn't change anything about that Canva template. Like they clicked on
Yeah.
it popped up and they changed the color and that was it. So the more you're in the
Yeah.
program, the more you can recognize those stuff, which for us, I know like one of the
100%.
first things that I don't know if Kathy or Renee told me, but one of them told me like the first day, like when you are creating content, you want to change 80% of that template or that design to make it your own. Like we want to provide our clients with services that are worth it. And it's not something that they can do. It's something that we are providing for them because we know how to do it well. So I just remember that like really stood out to me because I was like, yeah, like we should be changing from 80% because then it's worth it if they're paying us to do all these graphics, but we're not really creating
Yeah.
graphics. We're just taking a template, changing a color, and then saying, here's this graphic I made for
Or like
you.
slapping Yeah, it's we don't wanna just, like, slap their logo on it and be, like, on a template and just be like, "Here you go." So, like, I feel like changing it up is definitely cool. Like, the 80% thing is huge. When you do, like, change it, like, you can keep, like, the look and feel a little bit, but, like, changing, like, elements, like, how do you typically go about making sure that, like, 80% of it is different from the original template?
Yeah, so I would say our medical client is a great example of this because their templates
Uh-huh.
are like the medical templates when I look them up, they're pretty advanced for something that I could create out of scratch. Like they normally look really clean, really professional, really like nice and yeah, just clean looking. So the first thing that I'll do
Mhm.
is find one that I like and then I'll change the colors so that they match the client's brand assets. And then
Mhm.
sometimes I'll go like, oh, like I don't need this or this. So I'll delete things or move things around, but still keeping like the base of that
Uh-huh.
organization the same. And then if I'm scrolling and I see another template that I really like, then if I think that I can like combine elements from those two together, then I will copy and paste a few things and move a few things around so that it kind of like combines both of them, makes it look a little different than the original one, and then swapping out photos, swapping out text, adding the client's fonts to the text. But usually by the end result, and then adding the logo, but yeah, usually by the end result, I'm hoping that I have switched it around enough that the base is still that
Uh-huh.
original template, but all the other elements and things that we've added to it are unique enough that you can't really look at it and be like, oh, like I saw that Canva template the other day.
Yeah, just making it and, like, creating, like, a feel for, like, the client, like, whatever theme they have going, so I feel like that's definitely huge is making it look different because we don't again, like, we don't wanna just, like, slap their logo on something that's already pretty much ready to go and be like, "Here you go." We wanna make it look and, like, tell the client's story. I feel like that's a big
Yeah.
one. For someone starting Canva, do you have any like helpful like tools or hints or tips and tricks like just as someone's starting like logging on for the first time?
Yeah, I would say organization is definitely a big one so that all of your designs
Mhm.
just don't really get lost. Because the big homepage, once you start filling it with designs, you could scroll and scroll and scroll, and you might not have any idea where your design went from the beginning. I think we reached 2,000 designs the other day in our Canva that's shared between 5 people. So can you imagine scrolling through all of that and trying to find something? So we have client
Yeah.
folders, which is really nice. So you can just have in general client folders where you can keep those
Mhm.
designs. So you can go to, say, our folder, IPSM, click on it, and then any design that you have put into that folder, like social posts, Facebook banners, it'll all
Yeah.
pop up right there. So you never really lose anything. So I would say organization in that aspect and organization in the aspect of when you create your design, like clearly label what it is. Say we do IPSM June Social 2022. So it has the client, the month, and the year. So we know exactly what it is. Or like IPSM Facebook banner for June 2022. So that you know when it was created, what it was used for. And so that's another way of not losing it and keeping everything super, super organized. But I would say once you go into the design, like just don't be afraid to play with everything. Like if you're curious about it, click on it, see what it does, see if you like it, see if you don't like it. Yeah, just play around with everything. Use your brand kits if you have. I want to say brand kits are just for premium. I
I think
Okay, yeah. So
so.
if you have premium and you do pay
Yeah.
for Canva,
But
use your brand kits because they are so helpful. If you don't have premium, Canva's still a great tool to use. I definitely don't think that you absolutely need it unless you are like a
Mhm.
5-person agency, kind of like us. I would say it's very beneficial for us.
Yeah.
Um,
And, like, you can always do, like, a free trial in the
yeah.
beginning just to see if it's worth it for you. But sorry,
No,
continue.
you're good. No, that's a good tip. Yeah, free tiles are amazing. I definitely always love using free trials before I try anything because especially if you have to pay for it, you definitely want to test it out to see if you like it and see if it's worth your money. Um, but yeah, just play with
Mhm.
everything that you can, like all of the elements, search things, search usually for templates to find something that I like. Like I'll search like a few things before
Mhm.
I kind of figure out what it is I'm looking for. Same with stock
Yeah.
images, like inspirational quotes, happy quotes, like test out a few things to kind of see what you're looking for. But yeah, just play, play, play. Like it's
Uh-huh.
so easy to play with anything. The undo button is so easy to undo anything that you might have done
Exactly.
wrong. Yeah. And then it automatically
Yeah,
saves. So you don't have to worry about losing anything. So yeah, I would just say
which is great.
it's so user friendly for starting out that you can't really be afraid of doing anything wrong in it at all.
That's great. Yeah, 100%. And all the tools, I feel like play around with those, like like smart mock-ups, really cool one. You can like if you're making like a t-shirt and you have a design, you can clearly see it on like a model and your designs on their t-shirt. That's another cool tool. I know like you can add shadows to stuff now. So just I agree with you 100%, like playing around with all the stuff and figuring out like how to use it. It takes it took me a while for sure
Yeah.
to get the hang of it. And I feel like they've been adding more and more stuff and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is great. This is such a helpful tool that they didn't have before."
Yeah, you've seen it grow.
Like they made it so much yeah, they made it so much easier to create videos. Before it was not a video making website, and now it has like video templates and it can add like transitions between clips. I don't know, it's such a great tool. But anyways, if you have any final words about Canva, now's your time.
Yeah, I would just say it's really great, especially for small businesses, smaller agencies, big agencies. It's a tool for everybody. Students in college, I definitely recommend. You can spice up a PowerPoint so easily to impress your professors. It's just such a really cool, unique design tool.
Yeah.
I really wish that I had used it before and learned about it before coming here. I'm really grateful for the experience that I have had with it now because I do know how to use it. But if I had used it in college, I think it would have been so much
Yeah.
more helpful just for like any class that you can use it for anything. So yeah, I just think it's a really, really great tool that people should be using and paying attention to because I really think that it is 100% worth it, especially for us and what we do in it.
Yeah, I agree. And you're like because I can see, but the designs you've been putting out, like they're incredible. You've been making some like amazing stuff on Canva.
Thank
So
you. I've been
like
modeling off
you
of you though. You're definitely our content queen, but
yeah.
I look for inspiration in what you create because you also create some really amazing things in there.
I think we've both been just like really getting into Canva and like learning how to use it to its full potential because I don't know, some of the content you like created are like perfect for our clients. So, but anyways, Jordan, thank you so much for meeting with me. Um, it's been great. You've been learning so much about Canva, and all your tips have been so helpful. So it was really great talking and connecting with you on this because I feel like we both use it so much. So we have so much to say about it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you
But
for
anyway,
choosing me for the topic. I think the two of us together, we're in it the most in your company,
yeah.
and I think both of us love it the most. Like we're both very passionate about design and Canva, so this is
Canva.
the perfect collaboration.
Hey, I'm Olivia, and this is Jordan, and we're back with Plain Talk. We recorded a session earlier about Canva, but basically, since recording them, they came out with some cool new features. And I know, Jordan, you've been using some of them. Do you want to tell us which ones you've been using recently and tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, since we recorded this podcast, Canva actually had a huge event called Canva Create where they unveiled at least 4 new like major features, including things that they call whiteboards. They made websites, they introduced Word documents, so just a lot of big stuff that they haven't been doing before. And then they also released a bunch of smaller little features. But yeah, I kind of watched it and I was like, wow, like Canva is really stepping up their game this year with what they've launched. So the main thing that we've used that they've launched is called Canva Whiteboards. So that is a never-ending canvas. It can go as big as you want it to be, which is really cool. And it's just for brainstorming, mind mapping, sharing ideas. So the whole point of it is kind of like every user, you can see what each user does in Canva now. Like on the documents, it'll label like Olivia made this sticky note, Jordan made this text. You can kind of see how people are contributing and collaborating. And we use the whiteboards to kind of mind map our Canva templates that we just launched on Etsy for the month of December. So we laid out ideas, color schemes, post ideas, all organized very nicely on this never-ending massive whiteboard.
Awesome. And have you've been using it? I know we've been using it within our group. What kind of projects do you think it goes well with?
I think it's a really great tool for brainstorming probably any project that you might have. Just like instead of writing on a notepad or I guess using other sites to mind map, it's really cool that you can do it in Canva now because it's there alongside all of your other projects. And so it'll be easy to like jump between, I guess, each project and pull like, oh, we like brainstorm these colors. Let's pull the colors from the whiteboard and incorporate it into the project that we're working on. So it's cool that it's like all in the same space, but I think it could be used for any sort of collaboration that you can think of because it has all the elements. You can drop photos, elements, like anything that you want to do in Canva for a design, you can do in the whiteboard. So you could honestly like map the design in the whiteboard too.
Oh, awesome. Besides the whiteboard, are there any other new tools that have come out on Canva that you can tell us about?
Yeah, so I haven't used any of these yet, but they're pretty intriguing. The one that I really think is cool is the Canva websites, because I don't know, WordPress like makes it easier to design your own website, but it's still a process that you have to learn through the program and all that stuff. And then some people like pay designers obviously to make a really, really good website. So it's kind of like for like a simple, easy website, you can map it out in Canva on like different canvases. Like you would create a video, I guess, using all the elements and photos that they provide you. And then once you have made your website, you can actually purchase a hosting domain through Canva for your website. So they'll host it for you.
That's awesome. That's super easy.
Yeah, definitely making simple, like it's obviously like for really simple websites, but it's definitely making it more easily accessible to people who would have, how do I start a website? I have no idea, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely some knowledge that not everyone has like to their disposal.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other one was Canva Docs, which it kind of looks to me a play on Google Docs, just for kind of like that collaboration feature of seeing who's doing what in the doc and everyone being able to work on the same document at the same time. And then you can obviously add all the design elements that Canva offers to make it, you know, look a little bit more unique and design orientated rather than a Word doc or a Google doc. So I think that was pretty cool to just like enter that kind of area of design.
Yeah. Definitely. So all those tools are super great. And I know you've been using them sporadically.
Yeah, definitely. No, wanting to use them more. But yeah, it's just really cool what they've added that will help collaboration.
And it's nice to see them consistently adding these new tools. You know, it makes it easier for us. And it's like, what are they going to come out with next?
Yeah, it's definitely a reason to keep using this software that we already know and love, but it just shows how they're advancing and creating and coming up with all these new ideas. Because watching the presentation, I thought it was amazing. It was so much fun. Everybody explained very clearly what they were doing and where they were headed and how excited they were for the future of design. And it was just like, I felt so inspired afterward because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, thank you so much for the update, Jordan. Appreciate it. It's good to see all these new tools coming out. So, and just keeping us up with that. So thanks again, and we will talk soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening to Plain Talk. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and share with your colleagues and peers. To get show notes and listen to more episodes, visit our website at ipsmllc.com/category/podcasts.